On this day in history, we remember the remarkable individuals who shaped our world. Welcome to Who Died Today in History, where we honor their legacies. From artists to leaders, their impact lives on. If you find their stories meaningful, like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay connected.
Thank you to all our amazing channel members for your generous support.
A smiling child, a Christmas night, and a mystery that still echoes decades later in American memory. JonBenét Patricia Ramsey was born on August 6, 1990 in Atlanta, Georgia. Even before kindergarten, she was already winning child beauty pageants, coached carefully by her mother. Her rise to public attention came through pageantry. JonBenét competed in national competitions, earning crowns and titles that made her a familiar face in local media. Photographs of her confidence, costumes, and practiced poise spread beyond Colorado, turning her into a small but recognizable public figure. By the mid-1990s, she symbolized both the glamour and controversy of child pageants in America. Television appearances and interviews with her parents increased her visibility. To many, she became a symbol of ambition projected onto childhood. Supporters praised her discipline. Critics questioned the industry surrounding children. Behind the stage lights, JonBenét was described as playful, affectionate, and shy. She loved dancing, drawing, and spending time with her older brother, moments that felt ordinary and untouched by cameras. Teachers later recalled her curiosity and kindness. JonBenét Ramsey died on December 26, 1996. She was just 6 years old. Her body was found in the basement of her family's home in Boulder, Colorado. The cause of death was asphyxia by strangulation, associated with severe head trauma, a conclusion that stunned the nation. The investigation became one of the most famous and frustrating in American history. Media coverage exploded, theories multiplied, and the case remained unsolved. Public debate often overshadowed the simple truth that a child had been lost. Police scrutiny, press pressure, and public suspicion collided daily. For many viewers, the case became less about justice and more about spectacle. The unresolved nature left investigators criticized and families everywhere unsettled. It also reshaped how crimes involving children were discussed publicly. Today, JonBenét Ramsey is remembered as much for the unanswered questions as for her short life. Her case changed how America viewed child pageants, media ethics, and true crime coverage. Decades later, her name still represents innocence interrupted. Annual reminders revive discussion, grief, and hope. Advocacy for responsible reporting often references her case. Documentaries, books, and renewed investigations continue to revisit the case. Each generation encounters her story anew, often with the same lingering questions. JonBenét Ramsey's story remains a quiet reminder that some histories never end. They simply wait for answers. Her name still asks the world to listen more carefully. Few voices ever captured both the pain and the hope of America's soul quite like Curtis Mayfield's, gentle in tone, revolutionary in meaning. Curtis Lee Mayfield was born on June 3, 1942 in Chicago, Illinois. Raised in the Cabrini Green housing projects, he learned guitar as a child and taught himself to play left-handed. His rise to fame began in the late 1950s with The Impressions. Their harmonies carried messages that stood out during the civil rights movement. Songs like People Get Ready and Keep on Pushing became quiet anthems for change, offering strength without shouting. In the early 1970s, Mayfield stepped into an even bolder spotlight as a solo artist. His soundtrack for the film Superfly redefined what soul music could do, blending smooth grooves with sharp social commentary. Tracks like Freddie's Dead and Pusherman didn't glorify the streets. they exposed them. Over time, his falsetto voice and thoughtful lyrics earned him respect as one of music's most conscious storytellers. Away from the stage, Curtis Mayfield was known for his humility. Despite his influence, he avoided celebrity excess and focused on family, faith, and writing. Even after a tragic stage accident in 1990 left him paralyzed from the neck down, he continued composing music, singing line by line while lying flat on his back. Curtis Mayfield died on December 26, 1999. He was 57 years old. He passed away in Roswell, Georgia, due to complications from type 2 diabetes, years after the accident that had already tested his strength beyond imagination. The news of his death sent a wave of grief through the music world. Artists across generations paid tribute. From soul and funk legends to hip-hop producers who sampled his work, many spoke of his courage and conscience. Fans mourned not only a musician, but a moral voice that had guided them through turbulent decades. Today, Curtis Mayfield's legacy lives on in sound and spirit. His music still plays at protests, celebrations, and quiet moments of reflection. He showed that art could comfort and challenge at the same time. He proved that soft voices can carry powerful truths. His influence echoes in modern R&B, hip-hop, and socially conscious songwriting. Curtis Mayfield didn't just sing about freedom. He helped people believe in it, even when the world made it hard to see. He mastered the art of timing, silence, and self-mockery, proving that sometimes the longest pause earns the loudest laugh. JonBenét was born Benjamin Kubelski on February 14, 1894, in Chicago, Illinois. As a child, he learned the violin, an instrument that would later become one of comedy's greatest running jokes. His rise to fame began in vaudeville, where he discovered that audiences laughed harder at his jokes than his music. By the 1930s, he had become a radio superstar with the JonBenét program. His character was unforgettable, cheap, vain, perpetually 39 years old, and endlessly patient with perfectly timed pauses. When television arrived, Benny transitioned effortlessly, bringing his cast of beloved characters into American living rooms. He also appeared in classic films like To Be or Not to Be, showing that beneath the comedy was a sharp, disciplined actor. His influence shaped generations of comedians, from Johnny Carson to Mel Brooks. Behind the scenes, JonBenét was quieter and more private than his on-air persona. He was deeply devoted to his wife, Mary Livingstone, who was also his comedic partner. Offstage, he was known for generosity, donating large sums anonymously and supporting fellow performers when times were hard. And despite the jokes, he genuinely loved the violin, practicing seriously even when laughter followed every note. JonBenét died on December 26, 1974. He was 80 years old. He passed away in Los Angeles, California, after battling pancreatic cancer. His death came quietly just one day after Christmas, fitting for a man whose humor never demanded attention, only appreciation. The reaction was immediate and heartfelt. Tributes poured in from comedians, actors, and fans who felt they had grown up with him. Radio stations replayed his shows. Television networks paused to honor him. Johnny Carson called him the greatest comedian who ever lived, not for volume, but for control. Today, JonBenét's legacy still echoes through comedy. His pauses are studied. His restraint is admired. He proved that humor doesn't need speed to succeed, only confidence and trust in the audience. His influence lives on in sitcoms, stand-up routines, and every perfectly timed beat of silence that makes a room erupt in laughter. JonBenét taught the world that comedy isn't always about what you say. Sometimes it's about knowing exactly when not to speak at all. He rarely played the hero, yet his face lingered in memory, haunting, human, and unforgettable, long after the scene had ended. Vincent Schiavelli was born on November 11, 1951, in Brooklyn, New York. Raised in an Italian-American family, he struggled with Marfan syndrome, a condition that shaped both his body and his perspective from an early age. His path to fame was unconventional. Trained in acting at NYU, Schiavelli found his breakthrough in 1975 with One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, playing a quiet, fragile patient whose presence added emotional depth to the film. From there, Hollywood took notice. He became a master of character roles, appearing in Amadeus, Ghost, Batman Returns, and The People vs. Larry Flint. He rarely needed many lines. His expressive eyes and distinctive voice did the work. Directors trusted him to bring humanity to outsiders, eccentrics, and souls on the edge. Away from the camera, Vincent Schiavelli revealed a gentler side few expected. He was deeply connected to his Sicilian roots and eventually moved to Sicily to embrace a simpler life. There, he wrote cookbooks celebrating traditional Italian cuisine, using food as a way to heal, connect, and rediscover joy beyond Hollywood's noise. Vincent Schiavelli died on December 26, 2005. He was 54 years old. He passed away in Polizzi Generosa, Sicily, after a battle with lung cancer. His death came quietly, far from red carpets, in the land of his ancestors, where he felt most at peace. News of his passing saddened fans and colleagues alike. Tributes highlighted not fame or awards, but his kindness and professionalism. Fellow actors spoke of his generosity on set. Audiences revisited his films, noticing again how often he stole scenes without demanding attention. Today, Vincent Schiavelli is remembered as one of cinema's great character actors. He proved that impact doesn't require stardom. His performances added texture, empathy, and realism to unforgettable films. In an industry obsessed with perfection, he showed that difference could be powerful, even beautiful. Vincent Schiavelli's legacy lives in the quiet moments he owned, reminding us that sometimes the most lasting voices are the ones that speak softly, yet truthfully. She lit up the screen with beauty and intelligence, yet behind the glamour lived a woman navigating fame, love, and quiet strength. Silva Košina was born on August 22, 1933 in Split, then part of the Kingdom of Yugoslavia. Raised partly in Italy after World War II, she studied architecture before destiny pulled her toward cinema. Her rise to fame came swiftly in the 1950s. Italian filmmakers noticed her striking presence, and audiences soon followed. She became an international star with her role as Iole in Hercules in 1958 opposite Steve Reeves. The film's global success turned her into a symbol of classical beauty and launched her into Hollywood. She followed with Hercules Unchained, cementing her place in epic cinema. At the same time, she proved her versatility in comedies and dramas, working with stars like Alberto Sordi, Toto, and even appearing in the James Bond spoof Casanova 70. She was not just admired, she was in demand. Away from the spotlight, Silva Košina lived a life marked by independence. She famously resisted being typecast, turning down roles that reduced her to decoration. She married actor Raimondo Vianello, forming one of Italy's most beloved celebrity couples, though their marriage eventually ended. Later, she chose a quieter life, focusing on theater and selective film roles, determined to age with dignity in an industry that rarely allowed it. Silva Košina died on December 26, 1994. She was 61 years old. She passed away in Rome after a long and private battle with breast cancer. In her final years, she withdrew from public view, facing her illness with discretion and resolve. The news of her death resonated deeply across Italy and Europe. Tributes poured in from actors, directors, and fans who remembered not only her beauty, but her intelligence and professionalism. newspapers reflected on an era of cinema she helped define, one filled with elegance, wit, and international ambition. Today, Silva Koskinen is remembered as more than a glamorous star. She represents a generation of actresses who bridged European cinema and Hollywood, proving that charm and substance could coexist. Her performances still echo with confidence and warmth, reminding viewers of a time when presence alone could command the screen. Silva Koskinen's light never faded. It simply stepped softly into history, leaving behind grace, strength, and a lasting cinematic glow. He commanded the stage and screen with a voice like weathered oak, proving quiet intensity can be louder than any shout. Jason Robards was born on July 26, 1922 in Chicago, Illinois. The son of actor Jason Robards Sr., he grew up backstage, learning early how fragile fame could be. His rise to greatness was not instant, but it was undeniable. After serving in the U.S. Navy during World War II, Robards returned determined to earn his place on merit alone. He became a defining force on Broadway, especially through the works of Eugene O'Neill. His performances in Long Day's Journey into Night and The Iceman Cometh were considered revelatory. Hollywood soon followed. In the 1970s, he reached cinematic immortality by winning back-to-back Academy Awards for All the President's Men and Julia. Later roles in Melvin and Howard, Magnolia, and Once Upon a Time in the West showed an actor aging without losing power. Behind the authority on screen was a man who fought deeply personal battles. Robards was open about his long struggle with alcoholism, a fight that nearly cost him his career and his life. After achieving sobriety, he became a quiet advocate for recovery, proving that reinvention is possible at any age. He was married 4 times, including a high-profile union with actress Lauren Bacall, and remained deeply devoted to his children and the craft of acting until the end. Jason Robards died on December 26, 2000. He was 78 years old. The cause was lung cancer. He passed away peacefully in Bridgeport, Connecticut, after years of declining health, closing the final chapter of a life shaped by resilience and discipline. The reaction was immediate and reverent. Tributes poured in from Broadway and Hollywood alike. Fellow actors spoke of his honesty, directors praised his instinct, critics called him one of the last true giants of American acting. Today, Jason Robards is remembered as an actor's actor, a master of restraint, a performer who trusted silence as much as speech. His work continues to be studied, admired, and felt, especially by those who believe acting should reveal truth, not ego. Jason Robards didn't chase the spotlight. He earned it, lived inside it, and left it quietly, with dignity still echoing in his voice. He stepped into America's darkest political moment, without election, without triumph, and promised a nation something simple, yet rare, honesty. Gerald Rudolph Ford Jr. was born on July 14, 1913, in Omaha, Nebraska, and raised in Grand Rapids, Michigan. A gifted athlete, he once turned down professional football to attend Yale Law School. His rise to national prominence came slowly, built on steadiness rather than spectacle. Ford served in the U.S. Navy during World War II before spending 25 years in Congress, earning a reputation as reliable and fair-minded. In 1973, history called unexpectedly. After Vice President Spiro Agnew resigned, Ford was appointed to the role. Just 1 year later, following Richard Nixon's resignation amid Watergate, Gerald Ford became the 38th President of the United States. He was the only person to hold the presidency without being elected as either president or vice president. His most defining decision came weeks later when he pardoned Nixon, a move that cost him politically but, he believed, helped the country heal. Ford also guided the nation through economic turbulence and strengthened Cold War diplomacy with the Helsinki Accords. Away from politics, Ford lived a grounded, disciplined life. He remained deeply devoted to his wife, Betty Ford, whose openness about addiction and mental health transformed national conversations. Ford himself was known for his humility, sense of humor, and physical fitness, continuing to swim and exercise well into old age. He never sought adoration. He sought stability. Gerald Ford died on December 26, 2006. He was 93 years old. He passed away peacefully at his home in Rancho Mirage, California. The cause of death was complications from a stroke, closing the life of a man who once carried the weight of a shaken nation. The reaction was solemn and respectful. Leaders from both parties praised his integrity. Americans reflected on a president who governed without bitterness or vengeance. Flags were lowered. Tributes emphasized not power, but character. Today, Gerald Ford is remembered as a caretaker of democracy, a president who placed country over career. A reminder that leadership is sometimes about calming storms, not conquering them. His legacy lives in moments of restraint, decency, and moral courage. Gerald Ford did not arrive in history with cheers. He left it with gratitude, having quietly held the nation together when it needed it most. He made America laugh while daring it to think, proving that comedy could be gentle, sharp, and quietly revolutionary all at once. Thomas Bolin Smothers III was born on February 2, 1937 in New York City. Raised largely by his mother after his father died during World War II, he found early comfort in music. His rise to fame began alongside his younger brother Dick, forming the folk comedy duo, the Smothers Brothers. In the early 1960s, their albums blended humor with traditional folk songs and became unexpected hits, even earning them a Grammy Award. But it was television that made history. In 1967, the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour premiered on CBS and quickly became one of the most popular shows in America. Beneath the jokes, Tommy pushed boundaries, inviting voices critical of the Vietnam War and champions of civil rights. The show won an Emmy, but also drew constant scrutiny. In 1969, amid growing political tension, CBS canceled the program. Tommy Smothers became a symbol of artistic freedom, willing to risk success for principle. Offstage, Tommy was far more introspective than his public persona suggested. A classically trained guitarist, he took music seriously, often insisting on musical excellence, even in comedy. He was also known for his deep loyalty to family, particularly his partnership with Dick, a bond that endured creative disagreements, network battles, and decades in the public eye. Tommy Smothers died on December 26, 2023. He was 86 years old. He passed away peacefully at his home in Santa Rosa, California, after a battle with cancer. His death marked the end of an era when television comedy dared to speak truth softly but firmly. The reaction was swift and heartfelt. Fellow comedians, musicians, and political figures praised his courage and intelligence. Tributes highlighted not just the laughs, but the risks he took when speaking out carried real consequences. Many credited him with opening doors for future generations of socially conscious entertainers. Today, Tommy Smothers is remembered as more than a comedian. He is remembered as a pioneer, someone who believed humor could challenge power without cruelty and protest without shouting. His influence can be felt in every comic who uses laughter to question the world. Tommy Smothers showed us that sometimes the bravest voice is the one that smiles, strums a guitar, and tells the truth anyway. Her voice crossed genres and shattered boundaries, proving that soul is not inherited by skin but earned through truth. Mary Christine Brockert, known to the world as Tina Marie, was born on March 5, 1956, in Santa Monica, California. A musical prodigy, she was already performing on television commercials as a child. Her rise to fame began when destiny placed her in the orbit of Rick James. Signed to Motown in the late 1970s, Teena Marie quickly stood out with a voice that carried gospel fire, funk grit, and deep emotional range. Her debut album, Wild and Peaceful, introduced her to the world. But it was Lady T and the unforgettable hit, I'm a Sucker for Your Love, that made her a star. In the 1980s, she reached her creative peak with songs like Square Biz and the haunting ballad Portuguese Love. She later made history by challenging Motown in court for artistic freedom, a legal fight that helped change how recording contracts were written across the industry. Away from the spotlight, Teena Marie was deeply spiritual and fiercely private. She was known for her devotion to her daughter, Aaliyah Rose, and for writing and producing much of her own music, a rarity in her era. Despite her powerful presence on stage, friends described her as introspective and gentle, someone who believed music was a calling, not a commodity. Teena Marie died on December 26, 2010. She was 54 years old. She passed away in her sleep at her home in Pasadena, California. The cause of death was determined to be natural causes, linked to complications from a seizure disorder she had struggled with in her later years. The reaction was immediate and deeply emotional. Fans flooded radio stations and social media with tributes. Fellow artists, from Stevie Wonder to Missy Elliott, praised her originality and courage. Many spoke about how her voice shaped their understanding of soul music, regardless of genre or background. Today, Teena Marie is remembered as a trailblazer, a woman who refused to be boxed in by race, industry rules, or expectation. Her music continues to resonate because it was honest, fearless, and deeply human. Each note carried vulnerability and strength in equal measure. Teena Marie didn't just sing soul music. She lived it, breathed it, and left behind a voice that still speaks, long after the silence.